This presentation is for Management 110 Lab, Tuesdays at 11 o'clock with Laurie Hamm. This presentation is titled Salary and Job Satisfaction. So what should an individual be looking for when applying for a job? This is a question that almost everyone will face at some point in their lives as they search for a career. To some, the search ends with a quality benefits package. For others, vacation time may be an important factor. For others still, retirement planning and other attractive features entice an individual into a certain job. One item that remains constant, however, is salary. The question, how much money am I going to make, is asked by millions every year as they reassess their career choices or search for a new job. Henry David Thoreau, an American author, once said, "Do not hire a man who does your work for money, but hire him who does it for the love of the job." With this in mind, it is arguable that salary is not the most important factor in a career choice. And by the end of this presentation, you'll be able to understand how happiness in the workplace, flexibility with life and commitments, and creative autonomy all play more critical roles in the choice of a career. The first reason salary should not be the most important factor in the choice of a career is due to the fact that in most cases, salary does not even have a direct relationship with the happiness of an employee. In mainstream American society today, we tend to equate success and happiness with how much money an individual is going to make. So if you're making $100,000, you'll be able to go on more trips, buy finer things, enjoy luxuries, and overall enjoy a higher standard of living. However, in a recent study done by Beng-Cheng Liu and Thomas Lee Peng-Tang, they discovered, quote, that individuals with a strong love of money have a significantly weaker relationship between public service motivation and job satisfaction. Now what this means is that regardless of how much money you're making, the salary does not necessarily equate to the happiness a person will have in their role or career. Also, similarly, according to Smith, Organ, and Neer, in another study, quote, satisfied incumbents tend to engage in altruistic behaviors that exceed the formal requirements, such as organizational citizenship behaviors. Now what this means and boils down to is the fact that an individual who cares more about their job and loves doing it is ultimately going to perform a better quality job than one who is merely doing it for the money they will receive. So in terms of this, a choice of career should be based off of the happiness you will attain from the career rather than merely the money or monetary compensation you will receive by doing it. The second reason salary shouldn't play an as important role in a career choice is due to the fact that there are many other aspects, including family, social time, life goals, or future aspirations that all need to be taken into account when selecting a future career. For example, if an individual were to be offered a career paying $40,000 or the exact same job, career, paying $60,000 in a different location, and it was merely based off of salary that the person had to make a decision, they would clearly choose the $60,000 job due to the fact that it pays more. However, in life, things aren't always as black and white and cut and dry. There needs to be taken into account how flexible is the job going to be with my social life, how agreeable will it be with the goals and aspirations I have laid out for myself? Will taking this job affect my family if I relocate? All of these things would dissatisfy an employee if they ended up wrong. And according to Cohen-Sharash and Spector, dissatisfied employees have a high propensity to engage in counterproductive behavior. Now, counterproductive behavior is not only bad for the company because it decreases the effectiveness of the company, but it also can be detrimental to the longevity of the employee's career at this specified company. Essentially, this all goes to show how salary is not as important as finding a job that is also going to fit with the flexibility of your life and how agreeable it will be with your future aspirations and goals. The final aspect that should be placed over salary in terms of career selection should be creative autonomy in the workplace. Steve Jobs, co-founder of Apple and CEO of Apple Incorporated, once said, "Being the richest man in the cemetery doesn't matter to me. Going to bed at night saying we've done something wonderful, that's what matters to me." If we were to take Steve Jobs' salary and place on a spectrum, he would be on the far rich side of the spectrum. And even with all of this money, Steve Jobs still understood that monetary compensation wasn't the most important thing in the workplace. What he did by creating a free, individualistic workplace with creative autonomy allowed for Apple to be pushed to the forefront of its industry and also allowed for his employees to be some of the happiest and most satisfied employees in the workplace. This goes to show that the more an individual can take ownership of the company he or she works for and have creative autonomy to function in that workplace, the higher the satisfaction that individual will receive from the job they are performing. In conclusion, it's clearly apparent that salary is not the most important factor when deciding on a job. As important as money and salaries are to some people, this tiny aspect of a career choice should be given far less weight in the decision-making process than it's currently receiving. Ultimately, individuals should focus their efforts more on aspects such as happiness in the workplace, flexibility with lifestyle and current commitments, and creative autonomy when selecting a job. Thank you.